He was not as shovel-ready as we expected.
The White House declared last summer the summer of recovery. Now we're headed into another summer, and unemployment is 9.1%. Businesses aren't hiring. I have a stimulus plan that I think will help bring jobs to America, help bring us out of recession. Take a look. Number one, allow businesses to repatriate, bring back home the $3 trillion they hold in overseas bank accounts. And number two, this is the important one. In lieu of paying any taxes on that they would have paid, 35%, in lieu of that, they must use 25% of the money they bring back for hiring and buying new equipment. Earlier, I spoke with Republican Representative Dennis Ross from Florida. I asked him what he thought of that idea.
Well, I think it's a great idea. I think it's very innovative, and I think it'll work for two reasons. One, it brings back into the market private capital as stimulus dollars, not government dollars, not taxpayer dollars, but it brings back private capital. And two, it gives the business community certainty in terms of tax laws. You know, you've got a lot of capital right now that's being held domestically by companies, but they're not going to invest it because they don't know what we're going to do in terms of tax laws and regulatory reform. But if we could repatriate those dollars over here and require that a percentage of it, up to 25%, to be used for equipment purchases and for new hires, you would see a re-stimulation of this economy, a genuine re-stimulation of the economy.
Representative, my guess is that every dollar that companies held overseas, they would do it because, look, it's not going to the government. They can invest in their own business. Are there any flaws to it? Am I missing something?
Well, there's a lot of logic and reason in it, so that's probably one of the prohibitors up here in Washington, and I say that, of course, in jest. Right. But no, and I think the simpler it is, the better it is. But again, you know, we've got to do something that's going to genuinely stimulate this economy with private investment. Companies want to be in the United States. There's a reason people are trying their best to get in this country. If we provide the right economic environment, the right tax environment, we're going to see not only the right people come over here, but the right companies and create more and more jobs.
Now, Representative, I read something about you. You're a very free market capitalist. You say cut spending, balance budgets, fantastic. But then again, you say the free markets are the most important. Go ahead. Tell us, what about the free markets? What should we be doing? What aren't we doing right?
Well, first of all, we got to get government out of the business of business. Government is here for one reason, and that's to provide essential government functions. We need to provide, you know, for a common defense. We need to make sure we have the right infrastructure. But when it comes to business, we need to get the government out of the banking business, the insurance business, the auto business. We need to let those that want to put their capital at risk, those that will do the best job because their capital is at risk, set the market. Consumers will benefit from competition. When the government involves itself, especially like it has in healthcare, you're limiting the choices for consumers. You're making more harm come to them than you will if you were to allow the competition, the free markets take their course.
All right, Congressman. Before we lose you, though, one of your other ideas is I guess you want to scale back government hiring. You want to eliminate.
Yes.
What percentage? What did you say? 10, 20%, 10%? What are you looking for?
Right now, by the bill that we've introduced would eliminate up to 10% of the federal workforce, but it would do so by attrition. Not by layoffs, not by firings, but by attrition. So for every 3 people that leave the federal government, we'd only hire 1. It would force the federal government to do what we've been asking them to do, and that's become leaner and meaner and assess their outcomes. And once they assess their outcomes, they can realize they can do more with less. And that's what this bill is focused on.
That's fantastic. I love it, sir. I love it. I love the fact that you like my idea as well. Appreciate your time. Representative Dennis Ross from Florida. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring it